Welcome back to the Decent Garage. In today's video, we've got to finish up building the 12 valve motor to go in Long Bed Larry, our crew cab, 4-wheel drive, long bed, first gen Cummins. So I've got a list of things we need to get done. Let's head to the whiteboard and I'll show you that list and then we'll get started. Alright, so we have quite a few things we need to do to get done with the motor. I've listed most of them up here. There may be a few other things we run into that we've got to address. But if we get all this stuff done, the motor should be pretty much ready to be put in the truck after we get it prepped and painted. So let's start knocking stuff off the list and see how much we can get done.
No dabble, do you?
Alright guys, this is turning out awesome. Look at how it looks.
Oh, would you look at this?
So cool. So I didn't like the semi-gloss black I had for this stuff, and I had to buy that high temp paint for the exhaust manifold. So I actually just painted the valve covers and the intake horn with the high temp paint as well, so it matched, and I'm loving it. So there we go, we've got that done. Now we got to get the front case on. Before we do that, we can time the pump with the case on, that's not a big deal. We can install the power steering pump with the case on, that's not a big deal, but we got to get the oil pump in. So what I want to do before I install my oil pump, I've actually got an extra one, and we're going to use a little trick that Cade taught me to prime the motor. Alright, so here we have our modified oil pump. You guys saw me. We just ground that gear off. Here's what the original one looks like. I kept this one because it's in better shape, so I'm going to actually use this on the truck. So what we need to do now is prime all the oil passages. So first, this is some of the assembly lube that we used when we put the motor together. What we're going to do is just squirt a bunch of it in here where the oil pump goes. Then once we get that full, we're going to install our modified oil pump. We've got the 4 bolts. We'll just install it here, not really torque it down, but get it nice and tight. Okay, so we have assembly lube in there. We put our modified oil pump on. Now what we're gonna do, I've just got some 1540 weight oil. we're gonna pour it into where the valve covers would go, right where the push rods are at, so it can kind of come down through the passages. I'm not gonna add the zinc additive yet, which is necessary when we break this in, because we're not actually turning the crank over or making the pistons move at all. We're just basically moving oil through the oil passages. So I've got the oil feed line going to the P pump, that's all hooked up. But the feed line to the vacuum pump, I just plugged it off right here so no oil comes out. Then you saw I got the oil filter on and I just put a plug in the oil feed to the turbo. So with those plugged off, we should be clean and no oil should come out of any other passages. I think we're ready to go. So what we're gonna do is just put a drill on this and you'll hear all the oil and assembly lube getting pushed all through. Okay, that's probably good enough. Just a minute or two of that. You can hear it all going through the passages. So we're gonna take this oil pump off now and put our good one on. So I'll put this in, it's probably gonna make a mess. So these bolts go in and they get torqued to 18 foot-pounds. All right, now we need to get the timing set to where we want it. So with this being a 175 P pump, it's timed at 12 degrees. We've got this pin, so it's set to go. This is at top dead center right now. So with this at top dead center, this pin, the pump is at 12 degrees. In order to do this, Power Driven Diesel sells this kind of magnetic timing wheel. And it's very, very useful. Now, Power Driven Diesel has a really good video on exactly how to do this, so I won't walk you through every step. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna advance the timing 6 degrees. So we get a total of 18 degrees timing. So we'll get that set and then we'll torque down our P-pump nut and that'll be good to go. The injectors we're going with are from Diesel Auto Power. They're 6x11 injectors. These injectors, as well as all other P-pump and VE pump Diesel Auto Power injectors, are in the build list in the description of this video, and they are included in the promo code of Decent Garage to get 10% off. So make sure to check that out too. I actually didn't buy these. Cade Whipple, the guy who helped me build the motor, he had these sitting around, so he gave them to me. So again, I can't thank Cade enough for all the help he's done on this build. But I did send them off to Diesel Auto Power, had them pop tested and cleaned, and they're all good to go. So let's get these installed, and that should be pretty easy. Alright guys, that motor turned out awesome. I am so happy with the color combo. It just looks really clean and classy. So in the next video, we've got to get all the body work and get all the sanding done on Long Bed Larry. We're going to get it completely prepped for paint. Also, I'm going to have a guest in the next video, fingers crossed, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for your support, and we'll see you guys in the next one.